Another one.
So this question, how can I get the most out of my entry level position? Looking for advice about what to think about when building a career and or growing with a company. So this person is a graphic designer. So graphic designer here. I'm 1 year into my first corporate job after graduating college. Nice. Great job. Just had my yearly performance review and have been asked to provide career goals. I'm the first and only graphic designer at my company, so there's a lot of flexibility to make it what I want, but I'm not sure what I want. Good point. However, I do want to make the most out of it. Just need some direction. I can provide more details if needed. All right. So, the first thing I'm going to suggest, right? Sorry, our clock, right? The first thing I'm going to suggest, talk to your manager, talk to your boss, right? Say, because what I recommend is when you are when you are asked like for goals and stuff like that on the job, because you definitely need to have your own personal goals outside of the company, right? Of where you want to go, where you want to be, right? But when the company is asking you for like, okay, what are your goals here? Like you want to make sure that your goals are aligned with the company's goals, right? And if if the let's say we'll use like we can use any example for this, right? But let's say we'll go with your position as a graphic designer, right? Let's say you are the only graphic designer and you want to so you have flexibility. So I would say so after finding out what the company's goal is, right? What standards do you want to set for the graphic design department at your company? So defining the graphic design culture and standard, how are things going to run? That's one thing that I would be looking for, right? I would definitely look for that, right? So setting the standard, do you have documentation? When there's new graphic designers that come on, how are you going to onboard them, right? Um, like how are you going to train them? The work that you do, who uses it, right? How do you establish better relationships with those with your stakeholders, right? All those things you got to think about. Very very important. Now let's continue. Being that you're 1 year out of college, right? You've been in the job for about a year. And well, so not when you're out of college, but you've been in your first corporate job for a year after graduating college, right? What you learned in college, how different is it from being working in the pretty much the real world, right? And with that, with that, where do you see that you're lacking? Where do you get stuck on? Where do you get confused on? Okay, so now how can you better yourself based on what you're doing on the job? The parts that you struggle with, how can you better yourself, right? So now, what courses can you take? What trainings can you go to? How's your communication skills? Right? All of those things matter. All of those things matter. And that is going to help you do a better job. That's going to help you communicate better. That's going to help you level up so that you can probably go into either lead if you want to be an individual contributor, go into leadership position, like lead roles, like a lead graphic designer, senior graphic designer, principal graphic designer, or it can help you go into management, like managing a team of graphic designers, right? The ball is in your court, but you definitely want to find out where is the company headed, and what is it that what is it that like where do you see yourself fitting in, and use those career goals, shape it to the company and shape it to where you want to be, right? You have like you said, you have a lot of flexibility being the only person there, but you have to look at your performance review, right? Did they say there's anything that you can improve on? Did they say there's anything that they want to see from you? Shape your goals around that, right? How comfortable are you with like if you're using Photoshop as a graphic designer, right? How comfortable are you with that? Maybe as a graphic designer, you might also be interested in UI UX. Very important things. So you definitely want to consider that as well, right? So those are the different things. Like when I'm thinking about like career goals and getting the most out, like even like it's not only a question for entry level, it's a question for all levels, right? Whether you are like the director or you're a brand new entry level person, right? You're looking at, okay, what are the needs of the company? Where are things lacking? Where am I lacking, right? One thing I'm always doing is looking for where there's a gap and how I can fill that gap, right? Well, like, and that's why you see me on this channel every single day, going like learning about Terraform, learning about DevOps, learning about AWS, learning about mobile development, learning about different things in QA, learning how to with my tech barbarians, learning about software engineering, right? Coaching them. Well, like when I'm coaching, then I can help people better at the job as well. You know, so everything that I do, it's going around. It's like the circle of life, right? I'm gonna call it the circle of Ralph, right? Is the things that I do here, they help me on the job. The things that I do on the job, they help me here, and you just have to keep going with that circle. All right. So that being said, we are going to end it for tonight, right? I had one more question left, but we are going to save that one. We're going to table that question for next week. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be about test case documentation. How should we document our test cases, all right? But I'm going to say that for next week, all right? So let's wrap this question up.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.